Okay, we were very patient yesterday and decided not to record anything. And it paid off because the craziness continued all day long. Elon and Trump going at each other. Holy man.
It has been beautiful. It's been great to see that this has finally happened. Some people are trying to spoil the fun a little bit and saying, some people say don't get distracted, and others saying, you
Don't get
know,
distracted.
well, but no, this is the thing. No, but also saying things like, this is also sad because these are the two most powerful people on earth. But honestly, I'm just enjoying. I mean, it was the best
Whatever.
day. It was the best day in political news. Don't steal our moment of joy from us. It was
Yeah.
great. We need they're beefing openly, and apparently this morning before we're gonna get into a timeline of the play by play in case you missed
Yes.
any of the haymakers they were lobbing at each other. But this morning, Trump talked to multiple reporters. They were supposed to have a phone call, Musk and Trump today, but
Okay.
instead, Donald talking to Dana Bash at CNN, Jonathan Karl at ABC said that Musk has lost his mind and that he has no interest in talking to him and probably won't talk to him for a long time. So that's the latest as of 11:30 a.m. on Friday.
Okay. All
It
right.
seems like the beef is still very much active, and
I love it.
cooler egos have not prevailed.
So okay, so I guess like here's like the hot take at the beginning, and we can go through the timeline. Hot take in the beginning is that this is good for us. Net net, this is good. This is good for the country. It's good for the left. It's good that that they're breaking up that like monolith of it's not even conservative voting, just Trumpism on the right. And I'm happy that there's real conservative viewpoints that are entering this, like actual conservative viewpoints. Like now we can have a debate
Like the deficit.
about real things. Yeah, about the deficit, like a real debate about real things and what people actually believe. So I think at net this is good. I think it's good for the midterms. I think this is great for us. And also, it is maybe the most entertaining pay-per-view fight that the entire world is getting to see
Yeah,
live.
it makes Godzilla and Kong look very chill. You know,
Dude.
Godzilla versus Kong. It's like that let them
And
fight
Godzilla and
meme.
Kong weren't even streamed internationally. Okay,
They
it
weren't.
weren't.
No, no, you didn't even have footage of it. They weren't tweeting. We didn't hear the bars bar for bar.
Exactly.
But this is like no. I mean, you're right. It is good for the liberal cause. I think because these factions have been brewing for a while. I actually wrote an article in January before Trump even took office,
Dude, the
highlighting
receipts are crazy.
the receipts
The
are crazy,
receipts.
but this one highlighting specifically the tech bro MAGA wing, which is Musk and these that side of it, and then the Bannon MAGA wing that were beefing over the H1B visas, like the H1B
So
visas.
let's talk about that for just a second because I don't understand the two sides, right? Because I think people
Yeah,
think it's two people, but it's always been these belief areas within the Trump administration, and maybe it's oversimplified the two, but there's two very distinct ones. So go ahead.
yeah, and so basically, this represents the tech Silicon Valley. Really tepid alliance that they came into with MAGA, especially last
So
year.
Mark
Where Musk,
Andreessen,
Mark Andreessen, David Sachs, these people who
yeah,
came in, and Vivek Ramaswamy. They were basically
yeah,
saying we
yeah,
need H-1B
crypto
visas
guys.
because
Yep.
Americans are dumb. Was basically what Vivek Ramaswamy said. That led him being ousted from Doge. But basically,
Yeah.
Musk was also on that end, and then at the same time, Steve Bannon in the MAGA base side is saying, no, we need Americans. Like these are representing the lower propensity voters. That side of the MAGA base. So there's you have
Right.
these people, these
And this is
elites.
Laura Loomer and Nick Fuentes, like
Yeah,
the kind of alt right guys and the and
exactly.
the influencers. Yep.
And you basically have these elite tech guys who remember they were Obama people. These are smart people. They know that they're doing is wrong. They're just being amoral.
Yes.
They think they look down on the MAGA base. They think the MAGA base is dumb, right? And that sparked during that moment. So they just have this tepid alliance, this fragile alliance. Obviously, there's other factions involved here. There's like the deficit hawks when it comes to the bill, right? And the Senate. There's fake populism.
But these
But
are the
basically,
power centers, though.
but these are the power centers. It's like really this populist side of it, and then this elite kind of tech MAGA Musk side of it. That are these two kind of these fragile coalitions that are beginning to fracture. So that happened then. There was that beef in December. And I wrote this article saying, like, look, this is going to complicate. I literally wrote a very specific article saying this is going to complicate Trump's agenda when they have a big bill that comes that raises the debt ceiling. Like, I literally laid this thing out. And it happened. It's all been come into fruition here with this big, beautiful bill. But the timing happened to be when Musk was leaving the White House and clearly felt he was being ousted. And now we're seeing, because the thing is, and how this helps us to break it down even further is just, no matter what happens next, the fractures have been highlighted. And these are deep fractures in the MAGA coalition that, especially now, it seems the beef might go longer than a few days. It'll fracture the base in a way that could be really irreparable and damaging moving forward. We have Musk talking about creating a third party. Like,
well, let's go on the timeline.
We'll get in the timeline. We'll get in the timeline of how this is.
But I like your read, and I like the what you said about the two groups. I want to make sure to put that in the details of this video, so folks can click on that, so they can read the background, because it's so important to know this didn't just come out of nowhere. Like, this was right under the radar for a long time, and it was just asking to bubble to the top.
Yep. And I'm gonna go into the timeline right now, but I can even share my screen and quickly, because I'm gonna go into the timeline in a moment. But basically, this will be the article you can click on in the notes of this, or not the notes, but the description, literally right here.
Yeah.
Could complicate his agenda. Talked about the beef with Musk, the razor thin margin, the deficit hawks, and that these are coalitions that could threaten his agenda. January 13th, 2025. And then down here, it breaks it all down. It breaks down exactly what these fractures are. And right here, like, how will these Republicans show up if they try to force a giant bill through Congress? Will the deficit hawks trafe? And look, we see this playing out. So you're going to check out that article to get the background. But now we are here for the moment we're waiting for, is this play-by-play.
The timeline. Okay, so this is on CNN, so folks can pull this up.
Yeah.
The beginning of this was 1:30 p.m. Eastern time.
June 3rd. This is Tuesday. So basically what happened is, Charles, you and I, we did that pod on Friday as Musk was being ousted. They had that Oval Office meeting where it seemed like they were broing out. Trump gave him a key.
Which is crazy. They said he was handing out those keys when he was in his first term. And then after he left the presidency, he was still handing out the keys. And he promised people it gives them permanent access to the White House whenever they
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But basically,
we had our doubts, actually. We taped that because he had said that the big, beautiful bill can't be big and beautiful at the same time. This is what Musk said. Okay, right? And then we do our story saying, we do our video saying, hey, this is going down. And then they go to the White House, and I remember texting you, and I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're fine.
Yeah, but I was kind of thinking, it's theatrics.
They're best friends. It was theatrics. It was crazy.
And then apparently couldn't stand it anymore. For only a few days, because he was out, his attention was gone. I don't know how much ketamine he was on, but whatever dealer he's got, they got to keep feeding it to him, because he just couldn't take it anymore and said, this bill is an abomination, a disgusting abomination. Democrats immediately seized on it. It was beautiful. And
at this point, it seems like, okay, so he's talking about the bill, and it feels like more of the same. Like, it feels like he's saying, hey, like what I said before, I'm just going to continue that same message. It looks like a responsible business owner.
Yeah, and it's a slight
safe things.
Yeah, but then he kind of, he escalates it a little bit by saying shame's on those who voted for it, which is all of the Republican Party, basically. And, using the word disgusting abomination, it was a real escalation. Then he kept going. Then he, at 2 a.m., I don't know where he was, maybe he's in the East Coast, whatever, but at 2 a.m. Eastern time, he posts, it's more than defeats the cost-saving achievements for Doge. So he's talking about Doge there. And then Trump does some subtle stuff. The next day, the afternoon, Trump just simply reposts a screenshot of Musk saying how he's leaving government. That's all he does. He's just like, oh, remember, Musk, you left. Like, chill, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing.
the other thing is that these are only like images of each other's posts because they're on different social media channels.
Yeah.
They're on their own social media platforms that they own. So they're like the kings of these social media channels, and they're having to do screenshots because they're not talking to each other on each other's platform.
Like it's just they would have been
Nothing.
using Twitter, right? They would have been using
Yeah.
social media. It's just it's so immature. But basically, then all right, June 5th, the day comes yesterday, Thursday, where things start to pop off.
Yes.
Musk and starts in the morning, and he just does not stop. He shares a post from Jason from All In Podcast, a venture capitalist, that's saying, vote. The Republicans agree with Elon. So far, it's not personal; it's just about the bill. Then
Right.
Musk starts doing this, and during this, he just starts quote tweeting old Trump tweets, talking
Oh, I
about the
didn't
debt
see
ceiling.
this.
Yeah, he starts.
I didn't see
Yeah, he
this,
starts
dude.
basically saying he's agreeing with Trump's old tweets, basically like what people do to showcase hypocrisy.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And he starts.
I
doing
didn't
it.
know he was
Yeah.
doing this, dude.
He starts
Okay.
doing it, and
So
then this is when stuff pops off. Noon. We have our boy, not our boy, someone's boy, Donald, in the White
Someone's
House.
boy.
Gets asked about this. He's with the German chancellor, and he says, "I'm very
Okay.
disappointed in Musk.
Yeah.
We had a great relationship. I don't know if we'll have one now. Blah blah blah." And then he said some other things. He's like, "Oh well, Musk had makeup on. Musk had a black eye in the Oval Office. I offered him makeup. He didn't want it. That was interesting." And just like starts saying,
Oh, I
weird-
missed that, dude.
Yeah,
he said that.
Yeah, he said that. He starts saying stuff like that about
Okay,
Musk.
so so talking about the black eye thing is interesting because the rumors are that Bannon gave it to him, and if Trump knows how he got the black eye, okay, then him bringing it up again is like calling out to like, hey, I know how you got this, dude. Okay, I was there when he punched you in the face in the hallway of the Oval, outside the Oval. I'm gonna speculate. That's okay. You don't have to say it. Responsible journalist.
Charles, that is
Ahmed
Charles'
Baba.
official speculation.
Yeah.
But and then this one's not in there. But this is another quote from this same conversation where Trump said, "I would have won Pennsylvania regardless of Elon. I'm very disappointed with Elon. He knew the bill was better. I guess he found out we'd cut the EV mandate, and now he doesn't want it." So basically, calling out Musk, saying that after they cut subsidies for electric vehicles, that Musk got pissed.
Yeah.
All right,
So he's jabbing at it, and that's a sore spot for Elon.
It is.
The Tesla fall is an emotional hole for him.
And he hit him right there where it hurts. And then, Musk just has a slim, beautiful bill for the win, and we're like, okay, maybe it'll just chill out. And then Musk, okay, whatever, we're gonna keep going. And then Musk directly responds to Trump and says, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, whatever, keep them, but ditch the mountain of disgusting pork. In the entire history of civilization, there's never been a legislation that was both big and beautiful, right? And then this is where things get really crazy. This is when they start to really pop off. So Musk quote tweets the video of that presser, and he says the bill was never shown to me once and passed in the dead of night. No one in Congress could even read it. It's not true. Congress could read it. And then he goes for this is when things go through the roof. He said, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." Really oddly specific.
So, yeah. So this is the point where it starts to dig into people thinking that Elon did something crazy. There's that speech that Trump gave where he says Elon knows how to about the voting machines, right? He knows about the voting machines. At this point, I was looking for Elon, and it could still happen. If anything, and this is like, this should give us confidence also. But I think if there were any shenanigans in the election, this feud would surface. And it could still happen. But if it gets worse, and something actually did happen, Trump and Elon in Pennsylvania, something could come to light there.
Yeah, well, if there was anything nefarious, Musk would definitely talk about it. But yeah, so he says this.
Okay.
And then such ingratitude. Now he's personally going after Trump. And then it starts to really pop off. Then Trump reposts or Musk reposts Trump with the Teslas outside the White House when Trump was like,
Yeah.
I love Tesla, which is hilarious that
It's
that
all
actually happened.
computer.
Yeah, it's all computer. I love Tesla. And then he just, reposting that, trying to remind Donald of that. And then he keeps going, but then it gets even worse, right? He's still talking about
Wait. Can we pause for a second? This is just like when people are breaking up, like a bad breakup.
Yeah.
When you start to like, people like send each other screenshots of like the times they had together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a couple from your hometown that just is really ratchet and they broke up
Yes.
and they're sharing
Oh,
they're going back
on
and forth
Facebook?
on Facebook.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's just
right.
Facebook
That's right.
statuses, not even like tagging each other. They're just going back and forth. That's what this is
Yes,
like.
yes.
And it's
Yeah,
just
and that
a ratchet ass couple that,
everybody has seen that, dude. Everybody's seen that like live fight in
yeah,
front of the internet, in
exactly.
front of
And then
everybody that you've ever known in your life.
so they're going back, and then Elon starts to crash out. So like starts to get, believe it or not, Trump is the more constrained person throughout this
He is
exchange.
in this entire thing,
In
and you
this
can
entire
really
thing.
see like the
Because Trump
drug
isn't on
use.
drugs. Trump isn't on drugs.
Exactly, you can see that, and I bet people who understand drug use better than we do could see like the peaks and the valleys of like Elon's like, oh, he's dosing right now, and oh, he's coming down.
No, exactly.
Okay, so he's
And so he's going through this. He's talking about the bill, and we're just gonna keep going a little bit. He's still just going over the bill, saying it's kill Bill, just the usual, over and over again
Yep.
within minutes, and then he starts intensifying things. About 2 p.m. yesterday, he says, "Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually
Okay.
represents the 80% in the
So-
middle?"
Okay, so this is where it starts to break away from behind the scenes political intrigue, White House, back end stuff. The bill starts to break away from the bill, and now he's saying create a new political party. This is the first time where he ratchets up into something completely unrelated or not directly related to the bill stuff.
That important.
Yeah.
But this is just him resharing stuff about how he doesn't, actually care about the subsidies. And then
This guy tweets a lot.
he responds to Laura Loomer, who talks about, I wonder how Republicans are going to respond to this. This beef is escalating. And then Musk says, oh, some food for thought, as they, meaning Republicans, ponder
Right.
this question of what to do next. Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I will be around for 40 years.
So this was I saw this like later after I saw like maybe later last night. This is it's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is he's not talking to Trump anymore. Okay,
This is a threat.
this is a threat to Republicans. Yes, this is he's talking about the House members that he threatened to primary if they didn't listen earlier in the administration. He's saying if you're looking for someone to listen to, it's me. And this coupled with the let's start a new party thing is where you see the split. You start
Exactly.
to see people, because the Republican Party they are not actually a monolith. They're made up of people who are in deep red districts and people who are in moderate districts. Some of them are flips from blue districts or purple districts.
Exactly.
So he's gonna, with this kind of thing, where he's talking to them, he's gonna peel off some of those moderates that are saying, you know what, I was never comfortable with the votes on the right. I was never comfortable with the big beautiful bill and the Save Act and all these things. My constituents are getting after me. Elon, if you're giving me air cover, if you're saying you're gonna pull the other direction, I'm with you. I'm with you, and I'm gonna change the way I vote in the House. I'm going to change the way that I talk to my constituents. Some people are going to take this deal.
But the thing is, that's a short-term view because
Yep.
let's say the beef goes for longer, and let's say they never reconcile, and Musk starts spending serious money against
Yeah.
these people. He has unlimited resources, and Trump will be gone in 3.5 years. And it
Yeah,
just shows,
yeah.
and again, like with this bill itself, they're all stuck between a rock and a hard place because there's the deficit hawks that don't want to pass this, but now it's becoming a litmus test between do you agree with Trump or Musk?
Well, yeah, and it's I think it's who you agree with, but it's also who's going to help you win, right? Trump doesn't have a good track record of helping other people. Trump does not have a good track record of helping other people win. Elon's money will help you win. Maybe not, these large statewide races, but local races, millions of dollars in some swing district. He can help somebody.
We got Mike Johnson, and no, I'm not beefing with you, CNN. Please invite me back. I love you guys. Basically, Musk shared an old post. Where is Mike Johnson of 2023? He's now going after Mike Johnson because Mike Johnson at this point had responded saying, basically bashing Musk. And saying
He did a
Musk
press conference, right?
Yeah, Musk is only in this because the electric vehicle subsidies are being cut. So Musk goes at him, and then he's doing it a lot. So I'm going to keep going through some of the more important things, but he's going after other Congress people. He's saying, where's Thune? He's going after basically Senate Majority Leader and this House Speaker, trying to quote
because he wants to make sure the Senate kills this. Yep.
Exactly. And then, why'd you put this in here? Oh, yeah, Musk reposts a Jerome Powell parody asking if Musk is right. All right. And then, he's still going. He's still going. And then this is where it pops off to the next level. Trump goes on Truth Social because he's not tweeting anymore because that's Musk's platform. And he says, Elon was wearing thin and I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. And he just went crazy. And then,
so this is where this is where he's Trump is seeing his flock start to float away, maybe, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the boss. I fired Elon." Like this is him saying he didn't leave on his own volition. I fired him. That's a Trump ratchet up. Yep.
And it's what we've been saying, talking about how how Musk was getting more politically toxic, and that Trump, when you are no longer serving a useful purpose, you get removed from his circle. Musk is seeing the same fate. And then Trump goes even further and says the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon Musk's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. At this point, everyone is hyped. At this point, Twitter is the most poppin' Twitter I've ever seen. It is the best day. It is everything Twitter. You could ever want.
Like old Twitter.
It's just beautiful. And then within 10 minutes, Musk is responding. Such an obvious lie. So sad when responding to Trump saying that he fired Musk, basically. Mm-hmm. And then he goes even further. All right. Musk stops responding for about 20 minutes. And then he drops a bomb.
So Musk he's pacing back and forth here, and he's like, "I'm going to say it."
Fuming. Musk is fuming.
He's like, "I'm going to say it." To go where he went here, and this is where he grabbed the attention of everybody, because up until now it was still kind of a political thing. It was still kind of a debate online.
Yeah, and
Trump says he fired Musk, and then Musk goes, "All right, motherfucker."
Musk says, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason why they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
Dude.
Just chef's kiss.
What?
Just incredible. I mean, we all know Trump spent time with Epstein. That's not even the surprising part. It's just the fact that Elon would say this.
That he said it. Yes. It's crazy.
And it's these kind of things when you see this, that's when you're like, okay, maybe, but after this, it was just like, okay,
this is game over.
Musk is on one. He's angry. He is pissed, and this is where things went to the next level.
Well, and he's willing to destroy the relationship, right? So this is over. Saying that president is friends with a pedophile that that killed himself. I mean, like alleged. I'm sorry. I know you're a journalist.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Okay. That's there's no going back from that. You can't say sorry after that. It's over. He's like, I'm gonna burn the bridge. Oh, you think
you were saying this is like Drake? You were saying this is Kendrick, but this is actually with evidence, like if someone says that Kendrick and Drake beef with two Drakes, someone said, but. I don't, I'm a Drake fan. This is hilarious that CNN included this. Kanye.
Yo. I didn't know
No,
Kanye
yeah,
said something.
I saw it, but I'm just geeking out that CNN's including all the irrelevant stuff, like the
I,
random things.
I actually like this a lot.
That's
I like
great. No,
this a lot.
and yeah, Kanye says, "Bros, please no, we love you so much." Hugging
Yo,
emoji.
yo, not Kanye saying like, remember why you hate me? Like,
Yeah.
he's like re-upping like that he's terrible. He's like, hey guys, I'm still a horrible human being. I love both of them. I missed this. Oh, I wish I would have seen it. Okay.
Boy's still on Twitter, and he sees his boy Ian Miles Shishong or whatever, this weird guy, who said Trump should be impeached and JD Vance
Dude,
should replace him, and Elon Musk said yes. It's just now he's calling for Trump's impeachment.
which is that's big, dude.
It just
That
went
is
from
so. I think that's what
zero
I
to
called you.
100.
I was like, yo, this is it.
It's
This
like
is
it
crazy.
went from 0 to 100, and meanwhile JD Vance is still silent at this point.
Smart. JD
And
Vance
then
is
and
smart.
then oh, there you go, CNN. Tesla stock plunged around 14%, erasing 150 billion off the company's market value. Markets are
And
closed.
Elon is like, no.
Yeah, markets closed, and then Musk is like, you know what? I'm gonna keep speaking the truth. And then someone else, this Billy M2K user said, who is a big like MAGA person, influencer on Twitter,
Okay.
said, "Can I finally say that Trump's tariffs are super stupid?" So it's like now they're basically saying like, "Oh, we can finally speak out." And then Musk
Yeah.
quote tweets it and says, "Trump's tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year."
Probably true.
Which is what economists are saying, right? So it's like it's just banger after banger from this guy, and it just it almost shows you an alternate reality where if there was the context in which they had in which Musk never allied with him and was
Yeah,
just liberal the
right.
whole time, how
Right.
if he stayed the guy he was in 2013, what we could have had here. But this is just
Not the
coming from
timeline we chose.
this is
dude.
just
No, we
coming from
chose.
vindictiveness, not from decency.
Okay, so
so
does it
yes.
get any worse than this? Did I miss anything at night?
So there's some more stuff that happened here. Musk shares videos of Trump and Epstein.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. Then as I was talking about at night, he kind of started de-escalate a little bit. Said we won't decommission Dragon because some random person said you guys should like cool it down.
Okay.
And then this is all that they have in their timeline. But basically, yeah, this morning they woke up and Trump told Dana Bash,
Okay.
"I'm not even thinking about Musk and won't be speaking to him for a while."
Okay. And
and-
they shouldn't. We need them to not speak. We need them to be exactly where they are, going at each other. This is great for the country. It's great for the fight against what Trump is doing. This is great for us, I think.
No, it really is. And, it's just, they could do a lot of damage to each other, right? Like, if the beef continues, Musk could continue to fracture the MAGA coalition. He could turn Twitter against Trump. He could be a real thorn in the side. He could put money towards primary candidates and maybe Democrats, right? Like, if he really wanted to. And
That's kind of far. That's kind of far. I don't know.
but I'm saying,
but
if
he
I'm
could,
saying
despite
in the
him.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the future. So far, it looks like, yeah. I mean, Musk just sent a congratulations to Tesla. He's not talking about Trump this morning so far, but Musk. Yeah, but it seems like they're not going to have their phone call.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll say this. If there's anything that's hot, we'll get back on Monday and do something. But as of now, this is in the history books. This is the biggest political fight that the world has ever seen. It is. Sometimes we forget, but this kind of thing happening on social media is unprecedented. This didn't happen before, where politicians would fight online to this extent. And it, in some ways, and this is not giving them any credit at all, but this is like supreme transparency. This is we're getting a look behind the scenes that we've never seen at the highest levels of government. And there's like there's some. We'll see like what the benefits are this in the country, but we are getting to see this live in real time, and I think that
Yeah.
there's a benefit. There's a good part of that. It's terrible people saying terrible things, and we're hoping that it pans out well for the country. But there's something good about the fact that we're getting to see it.
In the papers, back when the newspapers
Oh
weren't
yeah,
even they weren't even partisan, they weren't nonpartisan at the time. They were basically used as Twitter accounts, like they were vessels for
yeah,
political
that's
argument
right.
in the early
Hamilton wrote a lot, right?
Hamilton and Burr were going back and forth. Jefferson,
That's
like
right. That's right.
these newspapers were just used essentially to. It wasn't until the Wire
To
was
talk
created.
to each other.
Yeah, when the Wire dropped and AP, came around and things like that, then we started to get more like we just need to report the facts of what's going on. But at the time,
Yeah.
newspapers were basically Twitter accounts, and they were dropping heat and personal attacks on each other. And this is a lot a lot less disciplined than that. They're not really arguing ideas; they're kind of just torching each other personally. But trust me, this is not something where they're trying to distract us. Like
They're not that smart.
This is real. So obviously, there's other we could focus on two things at a time. There's other things going on, but breathe this in while you can. Okay, while it lasts.
Yeah.